here at the Irish National Stud in Kildare, which attracts over 150,000 visitors every year. And there's lots to enjoy, along with, of course, being an operational stud, which has the likes of Phoenix of Spain, some of its superstar stallions. We've also got Japanese gardens to enjoy. You can see some of the legends of the national hunt game in the shape of Faugheen, Hurricane Fly, Beef Or Salmon and Sizing John. Quevega's here at the moment with her latest foal by Walk in the Park. Could she be the next facile Vega? And of course, there's also the Irish Racehorse Experience, engaging, immersive and educational for people of all ages to enjoy. So come with us and enjoy a behind the scenes look at everything that the Irish National Stud has to offer. So Harry, here's Phoenix of Spain. Just give us a bit of a rundown of his career, his stallion career so far. He's made a successful start at stud, hasn't he? And been a big flag bearer after Invincible Spirit for you guys.
Yeah. So he's covered five breeding seasons here. He's made a bright start, like you say. He has a couple of good flag bearers. Hatem, who's probably his most successful horse so far. And then he has a very promising filly called Lady of Spain, and Atsila, another good filly who was placed in the Matron Stakes over the weekend. So.
And Lady of Spain just won the Atalanta, and even her owners were saying that at 10,000 euros, Phoenix of Spain, he's not a bad stud for you. I mean, would you agree with that? He's good value for money as well?
Absolutely, yeah. And he tends to get good sales horses as well as good race horses. You know, they're good movers like himself, and yeah, he is definitely good value for money.
And obviously he's a classic winner, but how did he adapt to life at stud after retirement? Was he dab-handed it? How did he sort of start out?
Yeah, it was duck to water really. He took to it very well, and the more mares he gets, the better he is. You know, the busier he is, the better, you know. So he's taken to it very well.
And in terms of this year, how many sort of would he cover a year?
Look, the season before last was his busiest by far. He covered over 220 mares. Last season he was a little bit quieter, but you know, he still covered close to 100 mares. So, you know, you'd be looking at kind of 100 mares at least every season for him anyway.
And he's got a crowd of Yorkshire ladies who are on a tour here enjoying as well. But he's pretty laid back. He looks a bit of a dude. How is he to deal with?
Yeah. Look, he's like any stallion. You have to respect them. You know, they're big, powerful animals. But as stallions go, he's pretty straightforward. You know.
And you've been here 12 years, so you've obviously been here for the successful Invincible Spirit years. What's it like to work at the Irish National Stud?
Brilliant. Yeah. Look, you have obviously. It's busy every day with tours, and it's you know, it's always a hive of activity, so it's a great place to work really, you know.
There's no horse more synonymous with the Irish National Stud than Invincible Spirit, who's been celebrated here by sculptor Simon Carman with this beautiful piece of Invincible Spirit, who sired 22 individual Group 1 winners during his illustrious stallion career. They included the mighty Kingman, of course. Now retired from stallion duties, I think he started at around 10,000 euros stallion fee, and that increased all the way up to 120,000 euros. A brilliant story, and he was also responsible at his peak for 95% of the Irish National Stud's total income per year. He truly was invincible for the Irish National Stud.
He's been a standing dish for years, and you know, you'd feel it this season. His first year of retirement numbers, you know, are down a little bit. But he's been a legend here for years, yeah.
And as you mentioned, obviously he's now retired from stallion duties, but he's still enjoying life here out in the paddock.
Yeah. As you can see, he's covered in muck. He loves his routine. He goes out first thing in the morning and back in, you know, before we go home, and he's still as spritey as ever. Yeah, look, hopefully he'll have many more years retirement.
But obviously, in terms of his stallion career, probably Kingman's probably the leading name that he's sired, but there's so many others as well, isn't there?
Yeah, obviously Kingman, this side of the world, but of course you have I'm Invincible down under, who's flown the flag for him for years there as well. So he's as well as being very influential himself, he's obviously been the sire of sires too. So.
And he started off, what, about 10,000 euros, something like that, as his
Yeah.
stud fee, and then obviously it's exponentially risen, and I think he was 120,000 when he was sort of his final year. I mean, quite remarkable, really, starting from there and where he ended up.
Absolutely, yeah. I suppose similar to horses like Havana Grey, like, you know, they do it the hard way. They've, you know, they're not getting the best mares to begin with, but he's really proven himself from the get-go and improved his mares
And obviously,
every year.
You've been here 12 years, so you were here for a lot of those glory days, and there were plenty of them. How much does he mean to the Irish national stud?
Oh, sure, look, he means everything to the stud. You know, even in retirement now, anyone that visits, it's Invincible Spirit really. They want to see, you know, even over the active stallions now, you know. So he's just he's hugely important to the stud.
The Irish Racehorse Experience is a key part of the Irish National Stud, an educational, immersive experience for everyone to enjoy from all ages. It focuses on the beginnings of horse racing, talks about, of course, a key part of the Irish National Stud, which is the stud itself and foaling, etc. And then you can also look at the science behind racehorses, how big their hearts are compared to humans, etc. Looking at jockey silks, discussing jockey injuries, looking at the ground, looking at betting. You can even commentate on Dawn Run's Gold Cup win, and then you can also ride in a race as well. So there's lots to enjoy at the Irish Racehorse Experience, and we spoke to tourism manager David Wardell about everything that it has to offer.
The Irish Racehorse Experience, well, we built this in 2020. We've been taking tours here for 30, 40 years, but we wanted to sort of expand the visit and show everyone what it's like after the horses leave, because all our horses are sold here as either weanlings or yearlings. So we wanted to show the entire experience. So we did it, funny enough, a bit like the Japanese Gardens, which has the story of man from childhood to his retirement. Mm-hmm. And this is the same. So we have a foaling video. We have all about weanlings, but then we have an actual auction that you can walk in. And people on their iPad or on their tablet can actually buy the horse that's going around the ring. Then in the next ring, it's all about training. And you can give it a name, a trainer, and you have to design different ways, because this is only a 7 furlong race. So this is how we get people to be a bit more competitive. So you can choose what to do to get your horse to win a 7 furlong race. Also in that, we have Jesse Harrington's yard that you can go around, and we also have different parts of the physiology of a horse, from the hearts, the spleens, the tendons, etc. And we also have a scope. Then you go in and learn all about jockeys. At this stage on your tablet, you can design colours. And then the big race day, where we have a commentary. We can learn a little bit about betting and about how the racing pundit chooses which horses from the parade ring. And then we have the big race, where people can come in, their tablets, all the algorithm from their tablets goes onto a computer, and we have a simulator that shows the horses going around this racetrack, and the ones that chose wisely end up in the front, and the ones that chose too much stamina are out the back.
And I think the experience itself, it's immersive, it's educational, but it's also interactive for all ages. You sort of catered for everyone in this experience.
Yeah, I think when we built it, it was very important that we didn't make it so completely or heavy, if you like, just for the expert. So it's really, really immersive and interesting for the person who's just really slightly interested in the industry. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, the industry, we didn't dumb it down. So the industry think we've done a great job. So they're really fond and think we've done a great job as well.
And the stud as a whole, but this included, how many people would you sort of come through the doors here per year?
This year we'll top 150,000. There'll be a little bit over 150,000 for the last few months. We finish up at the end of Halloween, and then we have a Christmas event. But really, the stud visit finishes up at Halloween.
David, one of the big visitor attractions here, of course, is seeing the 4 legends that you've got here. So Hurricane Fly, Beef Or Salmon, Sizing John and Faugheen. And they're just a brilliant part of the experience, aren't they?
Do you know what? I've had grown men and women burst into tears coming to meet these lot. Do you know, until Winks won her 25th Grade 1, he was the world's greatest Grade 1, 22 Grade 1s. He was in the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
You know, he's amazing. Beef or Salmon, probably famous for beating every horse in his time that won a Gold Cup but never won a Gold Cup himself. You know, and then, you know, I mean, it's lovely to have Sizing John, because Sizing John's done what we're really trying to encourage people to do. He went on, did a lot of showing, show jumping, went to the Royal Dublin Horse Show, and it's lovely to see, you know, where this weekend Cornbury was on, they had that huge thoroughbred class. I think it was 45 grand for the winner. And I think it's just amazing to have horses going on and showing, and this is what we're trying to, but listen, Beefy here is 29. It's a long way from doing other things. He's really amazing. He's in amazing shape considering, you know, it's great.
And I think one of the big things about National Hunt Racing is the longevity of the stars in the sport itself. But then to see them in retirement, these are some of the biggest names that the sport's had in the last few years.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I say to the visitors. You know, you have a stallion that wins the Derby. It gets covered in cotton wool. It's never seen on TV again. Mm-hmm. These guys are a decade more on TV, thrilling us. And those big Christmas meetings and those, you know, as I say, you've got Gold Cup, Champion Hurdle, 2 Champion Hurdles, and Irish Gold Cup. I mean, you really...
And they're all incredibly friendly. There were loads of people here today. They're all coming up to them. They're absolute dudes.
They nearly go orange, the amount of carrots they get given. They have a lovely time, and they're fond of the old polar mint too, aren't they? This man, aren't they? No, it's great. It's really it's lovely thing. It started with Vintage Crop, who had the audacity to go to Australia and win the Melbourne Cup. Mm-hmm. He came back and they said, "God, what are we going to do with a gelding?" So we said we'd look after him. We had to buy him a few friends, or get him a few friends. They've long gone to heaven. But these are really the descendants of the Vintage Crop winning the Melbourne Cup.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.